Yeah, it was over.
Okay.
Jai Satchidanand.
Everybody, welcome to English Vignan Satsang Swadhyay. Meet, can you follow the mantra?
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Dhantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Pancha Namukkaro.
Tavva Pavappanasano.
Savvapa Vappanashano.
Mangalanam Cha Savesim.
Salanam Chasavesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand, everybody. Good morning.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand, Gopala Krishna.
Namaste.
You have a question, Gopala Krishna?
Yes.
Go
Can
ahead.
I ask now?
Yeah.
I would like to know what is Baba Dada Bhagwan's advice on how to create peace of mind.
How to create what?
Peace of mind. Because today we are living in a world full of problems and conflicts. How to create peace of mind.
You want it?
Yeah. Today's burning problem is people have too many desires, and at the same time they have laid obstacles in other people's life. So as karmic result, outcome, what actually happens, their desires don't get fulfilled. And that too, the quantum of desire is enormous. So in this scenario, what happens, it's like the karmic delivery mechanism also has its own limitation, because it says like whatever was caused gets paid, or it gets returned to you. But if it is not caused, at the same time, people have laid ample of obstacles in other people's life. And due to that, these obstacles come in their way and desires are not getting fulfilled. So that creates a lot of disturbance, mental disturbance, psychological disturbance, depression. This is very common nowadays. And the remedy, what they seek and what they get through medical means is extremely dangerous, because truly their problem is not solved. They get deeper and deeper into it. The amount of medication, quantum of medication keep increasing. They are like living humans, but like dead bodies, because their mental abilities are so much suppressed that at times they can barely keep awake. And even while they are awake, they are not in their full capacity. Their capacities are drastically suppressed. And in this condition, people at home in their surroundings, they get very much disturbed. They don't know what to do. And by any reason, if they stop the medication, which is also the case, very common, then the anxiety that pops up, they are totally unable to manage, and the situation becomes really dire. So here Dada Bhagwan, out of his own experience of several lives, he has given wonderful solution. First thing, he has given the 3 mantra that drives away the obstacles of our life, that is materialist desires, and at the same time, because it also includes obeisance, to respect to those people who are in the path of liberation and are much ahead. Some of them are already liberated, and some are great instrument for liberation of several. So in that case, when we express and offer our obeisance, our respect, our namaskar, then the result is all the angels, they shower their blessings, and the obstacles gradually they are overcome, they are removed, and people start having their inner peace. At the same time, one more thing, the prayers what Dada Bhagwan has given, it helps us really worship heartily these great people of the universe. And these people, they are on the path of non-doership. And that is why all the angels, they are eager and ready to help them. So whoever who follow them, who worship them, these angels really support them, and that's how their obstacles are removed. The other obstacle is they don't come across right guidance of life, that is right spirituality, right vision of life, right science of life. And with these prayers, which in fact, it does a lot of self-correction also of all the mistakes that are committed knowingly or unknowingly. So it really gives us the result that your materialist, your material desires also gradually get fulfilled. At the same time, your spiritual accomplishment also is achieved. So this is a wonderful thing. And Dada Bhagwan has said that whatever medication or whatever remedy is needed to the present day problem, I have put all those medicine in these 5 prayers, what he has given, namely 3 mantra, namaskar vidhi, no kalam 9 diamonds, prayer to the pure self, and Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Karu, the direct worship of our inner God and God in every living being. So with these prayers, at the same time, he has also given wonderful prayer for correction, that is correcting your mistakes, past mistakes or present mistakes which are committed knowingly or unknowingly, and that really helps us come out of our problem. So that is the thing. Jai Satchidanand. Please unmute.
Unmute.
Oh, okay, very nice explanation. Thank you so much. I feel we are not content with what we possess. We are always looking beyond what we have, and that is where the problem lies. Instead of looking for materialistic benefits, if we look more spiritually, I think we can lead a happier life.
Actually, the thing is, it is not that we are not content the problem is we have not got the right thing. And the right thing is the right understanding and the right science of life. And once that is known, then all these wild desires that keep popping up and driving us mad, even if these desires come, you won't be driven away by them. You know that if something is coming up in your mind, then it is coming in the pipeline. So what you must do is put all your positive efforts, refrain and stay away from all negativities. Any negativity that may pop up through your mind, speech, and body, if they show up, then correct themselves. So in this whole process, that inner satisfaction is also there, and your desires also get fulfilled. So it is like we have not got the right thing. If we get the right thing, then all those desires, they go away. They are not there. They won't bother you. But because of our mistakes and lack of right understanding, we run around. And not just running around, our approach is so much negative that we are contradicting ourselves all the time. So that contradiction must go. And the right understanding what Dada Bhagwan has given, which he has lived himself for several lives. And in this life also, he has lived, especially the 9 diamonds, what he had said that he followed those 9 diamond prayer for 40 years while he started practically like while he was 10 years old. And it gradually developed into an elaborate prayer. And he said he had been doing, and at the age of 50, that is why in the year 1958, when all the clouds of ignorance and mistakes, they were cleared, the light of God opened and it showed him everything that was happening in the world blatant, right in front of him. So that's how all his egoism was removed. And with that egoless state, it is said that he lived for almost like 4 years without revealing his inner enlightenment. And it is said that he has said that for those 4 years, that is from 58 to 62, when the first time this knowledge was revealed and open to people, he did a lot of correction of his past mistakes, whatever were there. And it naturally came out, and that's how we all got benefited even now. And it is said that it's going to help people for a very, very long time. In fact, it is also said that all the present religions are right, are good, but the bad part, the misunderstanding part, or the whatever is wrong, if that gets removed, which is going to happen eventually with the understanding of net science, pure science, what Dada Bhagwan has revealed, and all religions, they will work at that place, very effective, and going to give peace to whoever who follows all those religions. So it is not, you don't have to change your religion, but have the right perspective of that religion, and that is the scientific vision behind that religion, which was there in the heart of the person who originated it in his time. And when that gets opened, naturally it's going to benefit one and all, without any differences. Jai Satchidanand.
Thank you so much. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Kashyap bhai?
Jai Sachidanand, everyone. Rajni ji, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand. Deepakanandji, I have sent you a poster, WhatsApp. Can you please
Yeah.
pick it up?
See.
Should I read it?
1 minute.
Okay. Last poster. Yeah. So here it says, संसार में सुख तो है ही नहीं, लेकिन भगवत उपाय करोगे तो कुछ शांति रहेगी और ज्ञान के उपाय से सदा शांति रहेगी. In the world there is no happiness, but doing Bhagwat Upaai means godly solution, you will get some peace, and with the Gyan solution you will get permanent peace. So I want to ask, what is this Bhagwat Upaai? What is the godly solution?
First of all, the first statement what Dada made, that there is no happiness in the world, in this mortal world. All this happiness are projected happiness. What it means, you will feel happy if you have projected that way. Like if you have believed that there is happiness in smoking, then you will, till you keep smoking, you feel happy. And once the smoking is not there, then you feel disturbed. And you will seek, you will look for smoking whenever you want happiness. That way in relation to drinking and all other things. Even the worldly happiness, because if there was the true happiness, lasting happiness, then all the enlightened ones would have followed that path, the materialist way of life. But all the materialist way of life is based on your projection only. In the sense, whatever you have believed in, that will make you happy. If things come against your belief, then your happiness is gone. So first thing is that. And then what it means, Bhagwat Upaai means right solution. Right solution, what it means, you, with the right understanding, you will eradicate, eliminate all contradictions from your life. For example, you want to be happy, but you keep hurting others. Then you are contradicting your own self. You want to be happy, but you are contradicting, so you will never get that happiness. You want to get good marks, but you don't want to study. Then that contradiction is not going to fetch you good marks. So all these contradictions must be removed. And Dada has highlighted very nicely that you want anything, then you give that. You want happiness, you give happiness to others and you will get it. So that is Bhagwat Upaai. Bhagwat Upaai means knowledge. Bhag means light, knowledge, right understanding. And solution means knowledge-based solution, right understanding of the worldly.
You said Bhag is means light means
Light, knowledge light.
Bhag, okay.
Knowledge light. So if you do the right, because the worldly life or materialist life is also based on, it has its own science. So what it says, whatever you want, you give and you will get. So it says, if you want happiness, then you give happiness. But in the process of getting happiness, if you keep hurting others, then that is going to come back to you. So you want to be happy, you give happiness, and every time you end up giving suffering to anyone, then you feel sorry, correct yourself, then eventually you will get happiness. And it is finally said that Jnana, that is the wisdom of right knowledge, absolute knowledge. And that knowledge is the solution which will give you permanent happiness. That happiness which will not go, which will be with you, and you will be able to face all the results of your karmic projection. So even in the most painful situation of worldly life, you will experience that inner peace and happiness. At the same time, in the fleeting happiness, what you get from the materialist world, you won't get distracted, because that inner permanent happiness, what you experience through the right knowledge, wisdom of right knowledge, will always keep you at peace. And
you said if you want happiness, you have to give happiness.
but this happiness, we are talking about permanent happiness.
So the godly solution you said.
That is related to materialist world, materialist happiness.
But what happens is usually is that we are not so adept in giving happiness, means because we
That's
don't.
what that conviction is not there. But when you get the right understanding, that conviction will open, and when you start living your life as per that understanding, you start getting that happiness.
For example, we talked with someone and someone gets hurt with that, and we don't know how we should talk with that person so that he is not offended. We want that he doesn't get offended, but we don't know how to talk without.
That's what. So when you pray that I want to talk nicely, I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling through my speech, then that itself will correct your speech.
Yeah. So, but it might not be immediate. What coming?
But it might be what?
It may not come immediately in effect. That I want to talk.
It is not, because you are on the right path. You are on the right path. So when you start giving, you start getting immediately.
So, for example, I want to speak in a way that other person does not get offended. He feels happy even. So, but immediate, I have this bhavna, but it is not coming in effect immediately.
No, so, but you already have the understanding that why this bad thing is coming to me. So you will start correcting.
Yeah, I start correcting.
With that understanding, you won't get driven away by those negativities or that suffering that come to you. Without that understanding, you will get disturbed and you will start reacting. In the sense, you will retaliate one way or the other.
Retaliation is not there. But what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying. But without this understanding, that retaliation will be there.
Yeah, without.
And with this understanding, you will start correcting.
So you are saying that the process is starting. You're saying the process starts and it will.
Yes, exactly. At times you may become impatient. That possibility is there. But when you cool down, you start again following the right way. What Dada has shown.
Yeah,
right?
Understood. Okay. Thank you very much.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. I wanted to ask, can you describe the attributes of the soul and how can we experience them?
The most striking attribute of the soul is the knowledge power, what it has. And the non-soul element has only activity part. So the body, we can say the body self is result of karmic projection, and that karmic projection is doership projection. So body self keep doing. You look at our mind, keep thinking. You look at our speech, it keeps talking. You look at our body, keep acting. So all activities are due to projected doership. And the knowledge part is only attributed to the soul. All activity part is attributed to the body self. This is that. And the other one you can say is perpetual happiness. So that true happiness lies not in activity, because activity is like whatever you have believed that this is good, then you will feel good when you do that activity. But if not, then you will feel very much disturbed. But when you have this understanding and that right knowledge, wisdom of right knowledge you acquire, then because as individual, you at times say, I know, and at other times you say, I did. So both these attributes are not of the same entity. The knowing power or the knowing functionality is of the soul. So at times, the soul is the true knower, has the power of knowing, and you claim, I know. And all the activities are body self based. They are of the body self, and you say, I did. So in both the cases, if you claim doership of the body self, you will wander in the 4 life forms. And if you claim the power, doership of knowledge, that is knowing, then you can liberate from all this wandering and reach that state of absolute knowledge. And that is possible, and with that right understanding, what is going to happen, you will free yourself from all the doership, projected doership of the body self, finally reaching that state of absoluteness, that is absolute knowledge, that is only knowledge, without any doership, without any claim or ownership of the body self or the body self activities. That's how you get liberated as I. Otherwise, that I egoism has to wander, and depending on the projection, what it does, it will come across happiness and unhappiness. So bouts of unhappiness and happiness, they keep coming and going depending on the projected doership, right? So what truly happens as science of liberation reveals, you better understand the qualities of the soul and the non-soul, that is the body self and the soul. Today, as you believe I am, as egoism, you claim doership of knowing and you claim doership of activities of the body self, both. That is knowing and doing both, which are totally separate. And when that science is known, understood, and experienced, then naturally you get freed from all the doership projection of the body self. Then what remains is whatever is caused as part of the past karma, you have to pass through the effects of those karma without causing new karma, and that's how eventually you get liberated.
So everything we experience in the world, right? So it's not the body that's knowing, it's the soul inside that has the knowing power, right?
Not that. It is because of the knowing power of the soul that ego has power of knowing. Because what the soul knows is not available to us. What we know as ego, we know it through the 5 senses.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have that perception open, that what is that knowledge which the soul knows, then you will free yourself from the 5 senses perception. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because what you see and believe through the five senses is what you have believed, based on your belief, projected belief, not as it is. So only one who has known, understood, and experienced that knowledge, that pure knowledge, when he reveals, and when you come across that person who reveals that knowledge through his experienced words, that vision opens within you of that impartial knowledge, not projected or make-believe knowledge. Do you understand? Because five senses, what you believe something, I may not believe that. What I believe, you may not believe, or others may not believe. But that pure knowledge and pure vision sees and make us experience of all the worldly beliefs as it is. So the five sense experience and beyond five sense experience, or that experience of knowledge as it is, they're totally different. But when that initiates, it totally ends up in absoluteness. That is total freedom. But first freedom is experienced in the presence of the happiness and unhappiness. And finally, you free yourself by balancing out all the credit and debit of karmas. You free yourself from all the karmas. That is when the body becomes free and you become free. So that is the process which egoism has to pass through with right vision. And that vision is important. And in today's time, with what we get from Dada Bhagwan, that Dada Bhagwan vision is absolute vision. And with that vision, we can easily, without having burden of any kind of doership on the body self side, understand the true science of life and free ourselves totally from the doership aspect of the body self, which is self-acting through the natural power of Vyavasathit, what he has revealed. So you are now present in the present state with that knowledge, wisdom of knowledge, your projection stops. And when that projection stops, what you project through his precepts or agnas, that help you free from all the karmic effects. Because in today's time, when there is no unity among our mind, speech, and body, we are unable to have the result of the right knowledge. That is, total freedom is not possible now. But if we can have our, birth in a place where the times are appropriate and absolutes are present, then through their vision, we will be able to free ourselves, reach that absolute state as what is reached by the absolute. Like we can go to Mahavidya Kheshtra through the understanding what Dada Bhagwan has given, and we can free ourselves truly, and we can experience that right now itself. That is the thing.
There's also like other attributes, right? So like infinite vision, infinite strength. Can you explain those ones as well?
Yeah, vision means to understand. Vision relates to understanding. What is that understanding? Because the knowing power is the only power with which we can understand what is what. So it is said that the world, the universe is made up of 6 eternals. And of those 6 eternals, one is pure soul, which has this power of knowing and power of perception. Perception power is the vision power. That is to understand what is what.
Mhm.
So it can understand that I have the knowing power, and it can understand all the 5 other entities. They don't have the power of knowing. And whatever its power is there, it can understand. So like one is the matter, other is motion, which helps it to move. Then the third one is inertia or steadiness. Then that is where if you keep moving, then you continue to move. But unless that entity works on you, you will not stop.
Mhm.
So that is the third entity. The fourth one is space. Now space, it has infinite accommodation power. It accommodates. Otherwise it doesn't do anything, but space is there. And all this movement or motion is time-based.
Mhm.
So the fifth one comes as time. So all these 5 elements and its functionality, wherein none of the functionality of other is grabbed or taken away by the one. So each 5 element has their own functionality and they work of its own. So that's a wonderful thing. That is the power of understanding. That is vision power. And when that understanding is over, complete understanding is reached, then that vision itself gets converted into knowledge. So it is like you have now understood, nothing else remains to be understood. So now you reach that state of knowledge. So finality is knowledge, absolute knowledge. Regarding strength, strength is like the power to know. It is also said that matter has infinite power. All these activities of the universe, what we see around, is the activity, the power of the matter, the power of hydrogen bomb, and all these funny arsenals, what these people have developed, whatever. It is excess use of intellect into matter and the misuse of that matter for destroying the world life. But that is very dangerous. The reason is, if I eliminate someone, then how am I going to live? Someone will eliminate me. Anyway, so this is the idea. So the way matter is having infinite strength, what the strength of soul is infinite multiplied by infinite. Because it can understand the infinite power of matter and it can make use of that in a positive way. Help you make use in a positive way. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you just contemplate on those qualities, then it will give you a lot of peace and it can help you come out gradually and reach that conviction that yes, I must know this, I must have this knowledge.
Mhm.
So it is said, when you know the knower which has power to know, everything will get known to you. So it says, know the knower, everything will get known. But we don't know the knower as ego, I. So in the presence of the knower, we say, I don't know.
Yeah.
We also tell others, you don't know. That is the worst thing which we can do to ourselves and to others. So with that power of knowledge, and when we come across that enlightened person who has known the soul as it is, who has experienced, who has understood and experienced, he is experiencing that soul power and living as soul, egoless state, then he can bestow us, bless us with that vision of knowledge, and with that right understanding, we can also get liberated, following his footsteps, his precepts or agnas.
Jai Satchidanand.
He said, Chidanand.
Hey, Deepakanandji, there's no question, but I have a question. You earlier said about the 5 tools of Dada Bhagwan. And out of those, Asim Jejekar and 9 diaries, what's the science behind getting inner peace? But before that, Akshay has the questions. We'll take his questions.
Surely, yes.
Akshay Bhai?
Jai Satchidanand Deepakanandji.
Jai Satchidanand.
My question is related to the discussion we had with me around attribute of soul. One thing you mentioned, that knowing power is function of soul. All activities are of body. How we got caught into all of this is because we claim the doership. Now, my question is, how did the first doership started, right? Is it a natural process too, in which we got caught?
Very good. Let us analyze that. Let us understand your journey of this life itself, when you were born. So you came with the bundle of karma, and appropriately you got the family, and you are in that family. What did they do? The first thing they did to you is they gave you a name.
Right.
Right? And whoever who came to you, whoever who came to see you, even your own parents, what did they do? What did they do to you? They called you by your name.
Right.
Akshay, Akshay, Akshay. Just imagine, as a little born baby, what do you understand by Akshay? I put up, and I mean in a very jokingly way, that somebody is bombarding with those words, that particular sound, because Akshay doesn't mean anything to you, but the same sound, the same, I will say, the cannonball of that sound, they kept on bombarding at you. Akshay, Akshay, Akshay. So now you're listening. You're not a dumb guy, you're a living person with the senses. But those senses are like you see and you listen, and the listening is very important, because seeing doesn't come up all that, because then you're not looking at things initially. But nowadays it is seen that kids, when they're born, like within 1 or 2 days, or even on the first or second day itself, they start looking at people like that. Otherwise, I know I have seen kids during our time when I was little grown up, and when I used to see those kids, then they are not looking at you. You keep on looking, you try to like drive their attention, but they don't recognize, or they don't respond to your signals at all. After a few days, they start responding. So what the idea is, you are listening, continuously bombarded with Akshay, 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 Akshay. So eventually what happens? You're growing, your senses, your body is growing. So I will say subconsciously, unknowingly, you come to know that Akshay means something related to me. So now anyone calls or say that word Akshay, you will see in that direction. Someone calls Akshay, you'll see in this direction. Akshay, this direction. And then you're growing also.
Right.
Your understanding is also growing. You are watching your mom. I asked one mother very recently. She said, my baby has started saying, Mama, Mom, 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 Mom. I said, how come? How does she know this? She said, I taught her. So what I'm saying, so all these, the basic speech, that's why it is said mother tongue, right?
Right.
So to make the journey short, people surrounding us, they have imparted this knowledge, this understanding to us. Akshay, Akshay, and that's how you have understood that I am Akshay. So now when you are growing, then you come to know that, oh, I am a boy. Then say, we are Patel, we are Hindu. All those beliefs, they pop on you. They pop on you. Just a moment. Moment. Okay, sorry. So that's how you have acquired that I.
Right.
So that I, wherever it is connected, whatever Akshay does, you will say, I do. Because you don't say Akshay does. Because your I is connected or related to Akshay. So wherever your belief of I is, and whatever it does, then you will say, I do. So I say, I do, I wake up, I play, everything what Akshay does, you will say, I do. Do you understand? So then, same way, when you see others, Mama is doing this, Daddy is doing this, that way. So that wherever I is, that you will become the doer of that activity. Same way, when you get to know I am pure soul, and that conviction becomes firm and clear, then you will recognize everything that Akshay does, thinking, speaking, doing, etc., they are not mine, because your I is now connected to pure soul. So what you see is, I know and I see, and I remain in my bliss. Did you understand? But that doesn't come immediately because of the speech factor. What it means, Akshay says, I did. I went to job. At that time, you don't really, aware that Akshay went to job. But gradually, wherever you are saying I and my, then I will go to pure soul, wherever it is. So when you say I went to office, then you will immediately say Akshay went to office. You will say, my tummy is hurting. Then you feel hurt, but when you are aware that whose tummy is that? Oh, that is Akshay's tummy. But when you say, my tummy is hurting, then you will gradually come to that understanding, oh, it is Akshay, tummy is hurting. Because when your daughter says, Daddy, I'm sleepy, then you know that Divya is sleepy. But when you say, I am sleepy, then you're not very conscious about that separation. But gradually that will come. The way Divya is saying, and you know it is Divya who is saying, because she says the same word. She doesn't say Divya wants to sleep. She says, I want to sleep. So same way when Akshay will say, I want to sleep, you will know that Akshay wants to sleep. So that will happen. Eventually that will happen. So then that doership will now go. How it penetrated, because wherever your eye got connected, you connected all the doership of that eye into yours, as I am doing. And same way, others.
Okay, Dr. Bhai.
Okay, Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Aarti Ben.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
My question is a bit complicated if I can get you. Whenever we are tracing some particular end result, and in the process of that, we are believing in Vyavasathit, right? But before we get the end result, there is a sequence of events happening, which itself is also a part of Vyavasathit. But still,
Right.
we are suffering a lot during all the processes. And then can it be said that we are into the moment, because still we are getting into future only at that time also? We are thinking of future most of the times, and still we are saying it to be a part of Vyavasathit, and still we are waiting for some particular Vyavasathit to happen. So
Right. Actually, what is that, this thinking process is also of RT,
yes,
not yours.
yes, not mine.
Imagine I as pure soul as mirror.
Yes,
So your eye, push yourself into that mirror,
yes,
not in Arti. Then you will understand all the activities and functionality of Arti leading her to that goal, what she wants to achieve. So everything that happens, thinking, ups and downs and all that, planning and all that, others, agencies, they come to your help and achieving that goal. And that goal finally happens on a particular day, at a particular time, at a particular place.
yes,
So that's how you will gradually understand, analyze all the evidences that came together to fulfill or realize that goal, fulfill that goal.
yes,
And in that whole process, wherever you planned as thinking, so Aarti planned that this should take 5 days, and you start working on it. Now, anything that delays from that 5 days to 10 days, it is going to cause you pain.
yes. We get impatient.
Anything that hastens that process, shortens that process, and instead of 5 days, if you finish in 3 days, you feel happy.
Yes, excited. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
because your planning was for 5 days, but it happened in 3 days.
Yes.
Like your planning was for 5 days, but the order, because you had to pass through certain suffering of kind of getting delayed. Maybe in that delay, you are ending up spending more, and due to that delay, other repercussions are also there,
Yes.
which you don't want to face, but you eventually face.
Yes.
Maybe you end up paying more and all that stuff. So that adds to your suffering.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
that is a part of Vyavasathit.
Yes.
That is nature. So all these goals, whichever make you do things, it gives you inspiration to do, and you start doing it. And then all that process starts. All the agencies start working, and then it is realized. So once that is realized, you feel happy. But depending on the time frame and other things, in that process, you achieved your goal. Like in your company, you wanted to have a higher position. You achieved that position, but then there are other people who also wanted that position,
Yes.
and they could not succeed. So now they are going to feel jealous, they are going to feel hurt, they are going to react one way or the other to you, because otherwise you were together. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this is what happens. So in this life process, this is how things happen. But we as ego, and with the realization, you have to play two parts. One part is of perceiving the whole drama impartially. At the same time, depending on the situation and the state of your job, in the sense the progress of your job, you have to give certain instructions, do certain things as part of Vyavasathit.
Yes.
Make decisions, guide people, instruct others, etc., all so many things, which will make you reach your goal.
Correct.
So these two roles, like you are mother of your children and
Yes.
you are wife also.
Yes.
You never get confused in playing this role.
Yes.
With the kids, you are mother. With the husband, you are wife. Perfect, no problem, no confusion. Now here, as you practice and become perfect, in the sense you have clear understanding of these two roles of seeing and doing correctly, you will not have any problem.
Yes.
You will play your role. You know that the relative aspect, the worldly aspect is part of the karma, which you have no choice, but you have to do. Whatever results you get, you don't have to enjoy those results, but you have to understand that these results are of arti as result of the past karma.
Yes.
You are not arti. Because at the end of the day, when everything, all worldly assignments are over, you are not left with any karma for which you have to pay attention or do anything. That's how you will experience liberation.
Right.
So now, having realized who you are, you take care of artist karma, free yourself from all the burden of karma, because you are not projecting new ones. When all of them are over, you are done.
Yes.
You will emerge as pure soul, absolute knowledge only.
Amazing.
Okay.
It is wonderful, wonderful.
Okay,
Hats off to
Aditya.
Dada Bhagwan.
Hey,
Yes.
our time is up. So, Deepika, can you 3 months achievement, please follow?
Namo Vitragaya,
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantanam,
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam,
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam,
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam,
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savva Sahunam,
Namo Loe Sabba Sahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro,
Eso Panchakaro.
Savvapavappanasano,
Savvapava Panasano.
Mangalanam cha Savesim,
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.